Hey guys, my name is Matimio, and welcome to another episode of Sunday Mailbox. This is a video series where you, the viewer, can submit your gaming or Battlefield-related questions, and then I will give my humble opinion on them. Now, to get the formalities out of the way real quick, if you would like to submit your own questions that could be featured in an upcoming episode, you can do so by leaving a comment down below, or by sending me a YouTube message. The first question for today comes from Joseph, and it is, what are your thoughts on a deployable spawn point for a commander? For instance, when used, a Osprey or other helicopter would come in from outside the map and hover over a selected location, allowing your teammates to spawn on that point. This is one of the best suggestions that I've heard for the commander mode in quite some time. I get a lot of recommendations on how to flush out the commander and what people think that needs to be done to the mode to try to improve it, but this is simplistic. It would give another tool in the arsenal of the commander that would allow them to influence the battlefield slightly. I don't think it would be overpowered, and honestly, it would just make it so that if your team is struggling, it would give you another point to, or another spawn point on the battlefield, maybe so that you could back cap a couple of their points and get back into the running, get back into the game so that your team isn't just going to get spawn trapped at one of the deployments or at one of the objectives. And if they made it so that it was just like the kill streak from, I believe, Medal of Honor Warfighter for, I think it was like the support kit or something, I would be cool with that. Have it maybe fly in for 20 seconds, make it 20-second spawn point, or even if they want to just make it a step further, make it so that it is a permanent spawn point, but if the enemy is quick enough, they can shoot a couple of rockets at it, or one rocket will be able to take it out, and that will be it for that spawn point. There are a bunch of different options, and if they wanted to take it steps further and they wanted to make it exactly like the kill streak, they could also make it so that 1 to 2 people could be in the minigun for it, protecting everyone that's spawning on that point. Like I said, this is really interesting. This would add a cool dynamic in the game because it's going to be stationary. They can't move around, so it's not like it's going to be overpowered by anything, but it would allow the commander to actually influence the battlefield a little bit more and help out their teammate other than just spawning UAV and counter UAV or upgrading their perks every once in a while. Like, honestly, there is not a whole lot you can do in the commander's seat. Like, maybe every once in a while you can give some call outs, or you can give some tactical orders to the squads so that they'll co-capture a certain objective, but realistically, you're spamming UAV all day long. And so if they did add this into the game, it would give you another tool, it would flesh out the mode a little bit more, and I think it would just be a great addition into the game. So solid suggestion. The next question is, how would you feel if the Last Stand DLC, they reintroduced the Middle Eastern Coalition to add a 4th faction into the game? I would not complain if DICE added in a 4th faction. They were great in Battlefield 2. The Middle Eastern Coalition, I think, would be a nice addition in the game. It would add a little bit different variety, but that being said, I would not expect this at all. Like, I'm 100% certain that DICE will never do this for the final DLC for Battlefield 4, because it really just comes down to time restraints and the amount of resources that would be required to create another faction. Like, it's not just purely cosmetic. First of all, they would have to create a distinct look for every single class for that faction. The classes would have to look different from all of the other classes for the different factions, and the faction would have to have a cohesive look together. Like, DICE always does that for their Battlefield series, and it's something that I've always appreciated about it, and so that's the first reason. The second reason being is that they would have to hire a bunch of voice actors. Like, you guys know that each of the factions sound differently. They would have to make it at least somewhat authentic, and so they would have to schedule voice actors and get all that sorted out. They'd have to link it to all of the different classes in the game, because I think different classes have a different sound. I could be completely wrong with that, but they would have to go in and they'd have to hire voice actors and work all of that out. The third reason being is that Battlefield 4 actually isn't set in the Middle East at all. Like, the campaign was all in China. I don't think that there are any Middle Eastern maps in the multiplayer. I know it was in Battlefield 3. A lot of it was centered around that. But in Battlefield 4, I can't think of a single map that is in the Middle East. And so it's for those 3 reasons why I would never expect this in the upcoming DLC. It sounds great, like, it sounds cool having a different faction in there. It would add a nice little variety, but this is something that I would not expect. The next question comes from Matt, and it is, I'm fairly new to the Battlefield series, and I started with Battlefield 3. While I know it's not supposed to be 100% realistic, the unlimited parachute always seems to weird me out. I feel like it should be a single use, and maybe you could replenish it via ammo crate. What do you think? I am always surprised at how often I get this question for Sunday Mailbox. Like, every single episode, there's at least 5 people that are asking this question. Like, every single episode, I get this question a good 10 times. And And so it's clear that this is not sitting well with you guys. Like, there are a lot of people out there that while clearly you realize that the game is not 100% realistic, and it's not. Like, there are a lot of things in Battlefield that are not realistic. It just does not sit well with you that you can constantly spam the parachute. And so I have to ask you guys, why does this not sit well with you? Because if you think about it from a gameplay perspective, it just allows you to keep you in the action. Like, if you're playing on Siege of Shanghai, for example, and you go over towards the B objective, if you're playing on Conquest, you take the elevator all the way up there. If you jump down to the second rooftop, let's say there's a bunch of enemies down there, you take them all out, do you want to be just left stranded up there? Do you want to go through a 10-second animation to get your parachute back ready in order? Like, it just seems like it would be something that would restrict gameplay and restrict you from keeping you in the action, because I honestly can't think of a single scenario where this would benefit you, or if you can't really outsmart your enemy. Like, I can't think of a situation where it's like, oh man, the enemy just deployed his parachute. He's not going to be able to get another parachute out. He's going to be stuck on this rooftop. I'm going to be able to take him out from a mile away. Like, I just don't see how that is really going to influence the game or improve things anyway. And so I really want to ask you guys, if this is such a big deal, why do you want this in the game, and why do you think that it would improve the gameplay? Because that's what it comes down to. If you want to make a change into a series like Battlefield, for example, why would you want that change in place, and why do you think it would improve things? How is it going to make the gameplay more enjoyable? And so if I'm completely off my rocker, and this is something that a lot of you have been wanting for a very, very long time, let me know down below in the comment section. Explain to me why this is the case. So the next question comes from Klabarna. I've sat here for a good 5 minutes trying to figure out how to pronounce your name, so I apologize, I probably just butchered it. But it is, what do you think about having a different scoreboard system according to what game mode it is? Sometimes people are topping the scoreboard on TDM by just flying around in the MAV spotting enemies without really helping out the team to win. If the scoreboard system on TDM counted kills instead of score, it would be more fair to the actual good players who have been helping their team get the victory. Also on Conquest, it would count flag capture / defended, a little bit like the Titanfall scoreboard system. So the first thing I want to address with this question is that it's a little naive, because you have to remember that Battlefield is a very team-oriented game. If you're playing on TDM, yes, if you're not getting kills, you're not directly contributing to your team winning, and that is the name of the game on TDM, is to get as many kills as possible. But if you're reviving your teammates, if you're laying down ammo, if you're giving them health, and if you're up in the MAV all game long, you're helping your team get closer to the victory. Like, everything you do in this game, as long as it's benefiting your teammates, it is helping contribute to the overall win. And you mentioned MAV up in the sky, and I found this to be a little bit funny, because honestly, if there is a pilot, if there is one guy up in the MAV all game long and he doesn't mind doing that, let's say for example he's not a very good shot and he's not very comfortable with getting kills on TDM and he'd much rather just sit in the MAV all day, I am 100% on board with that player doing it. Sure, he's not directly influencing our tickets, he's not getting us one step closer, but indirectly, he is a massive benefit to our team. He is giving us so much information on the battlefield, and so if he wants to sit up there all game long, I'm down on the ground knowing exactly where every single enemy is. Like, that information is just ridiculously helpful. And so you really just have to think about it in that light. It's team deathmatch. It's not just deathmatch. It's not all just about getting the kills. There's a team aspect of it, and if someone is helping you secure those kills, if it's indirectly by reviving you, if it's giving you health or ammo or spotting people down on the ground, it's all benefiting you and your team to secure the victory. But that is about it for today's Sunday Mailbox, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Once again, if you would like to submit your own question that could be featured in an upcoming episode, you can do so by leaving a comment down below or by sending me a YouTube message. But until tomorrow, guys, have a good one and take it easy.